Bean, I'm eating pretzels. Also, Alex says hi. What is Big Brother? Hey, Cook. Cook, I don't know if being on time is early. Although I guess I can't say on time. It was opening. Also, I've never shown y'all. This is my BRB screen. Oh, you think we should maybe play Zenless Zone Zero? You think there's a chance that you'd like to play Zenless Zone Zero? I might run that after we're done with this, if you guys actually are interested in that. Yeah, this is my, it's a little old, but it's my BR back screen. It's at least updated all of my social media. It used to be wrong again. In the top left, you can see it says adopted. And that's because those people beat me at chess 10 times in a row. Which is miserable, by the way. Cooked, you were at a convention last time? Well, I mean, you could have your name somewhere here. Unfortunately, Alex followed me after you followed me. You could just unfollow and refollow me if you want. Or I could replay the activity. There you go. Your latest follower now. But yes, Cooked. It's crazy that you say you were at a convention. I was just talking to Alex. Alex actually was gone last Friday at a convention. And he said, oh, Cooked wasn't at your stream. I wonder if Cooked was at the same convention. And I said, no, there's literally no way Cooked was at the same convention. And you probably weren't at the same convention. All right. I did actually... I don't think I have it set up. I thought about making this Be Right Back screen a banana spinning, but I haven't actually gone about doing that yet. The Cooked is a real G. Cooked weeb. I don't think I have a follow here or here. I do have a follow notification here. Cute. I forgot that I had that. You were at Anime Matsuri? Yes, you and Alex were at the same convention. I should let him know at least. You didn't miss much though, Cooked. I was playing League of Legends. Yeah, Alex isn't that close to Houston, I believe, but him and his brother drove down. That's pretty nice. Oh, cringe. True. All right, let's continue. We are living through the teen years. Oh, the teen years. Where are we? Childhood. So just the one I last played, I think. Wait. Oh. My most recent year, I guess. Childhood's end. We are not fighting God yet. We're getting close. Oh, you're good, Bean. I got Cooked. He's very opinionated. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes long time to heal. Mother says it reminded you of it's a reminder of your lot, suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder. One day, it will never disappear. You are a commoner now. This is the lot you were born into. But Father keeps telling you to study hard so you may yet earn a different lot and become a noble of the mantle. You recall the past with warm sadness, when Stephen still lived with you, or when he wrote you for a time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it beneath him to write to commoners and his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. Most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. Oh, you got a kitty in your lap? That's good. And you're I don't know what show you're watching. I've never heard of it. You learn the true power of the lot only after the head of the family's arrival. In grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. Is it just him? Or is it the way with the entire world? The very thought of it makes you queasy. You are older now, and what's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care for about someone else, how to teach and protect. Soon, you are a small boy no longer. As days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your choices will decide your place in the bizarre, ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. Who is Tim, and can they help us kill God? Who is Tim? What do you mean, who is Tim? All right. I don't know if you rewatched Cooked. I'll give you a quick rundown what we did. You saw us be born. Our siblings got their sacrament. Nathan, our brother, was born. Our grandfather returned. Our personal life, we died. I think you saw us die. Grandfather killed us. We had a fencing lesson with our father, which was, it upset him. Well, not upset him, but it didn't please him that we didn't give it up, that we fought to train with him. Then our sacrament came up where we had to accept the lot of a commoner, but we, in willpower, kissed the sword. So we have had fencing lessons. We have kissed the sword against our lot in life, which means that we are so close to becoming a noble by force. We are exhausted from kissing the sword. We had to sacrifice our sister Gloria, What's our sister's name? Gloria. We had to sacrifice our sister Gloria quite a bit. She is not happy with us. Indifferent. Everyone else, +1, +1, +3, +3. -2 for Gregor, of course. But our family likes us. And our family as well. Our family is at peace. We are really getting along. We did a good job there. But at the same time, we are only just barely scraping by. We died once and we're low on willpower. We need to get our willpower back up. We need to make decisions, choices that matter. And we are a teenager. Childhood is over. We're serious now.
I was growing up fast. The school, the streets, and the whole wide world awaited me beyond the gate of my parents' house.
Gonna sew in the dark. That's not good for your eyes. It's not a teen voice. I'm an adult writing about my life. You've lived in this world for 8 years now. As you grow older, life grows more complex. The world of your childhood was limited to your house and family. But now that realm is expanding. It also includes your neighborhood, the nearby houses, the streets of the ancient city of Inazot. The question now looms over you, growing more pressing each passing year. What would your place be in this vast outside world? We're not making weapons. It's worse for my hands, and I have the ability to not stab myself. So real. Few people in the blessed Arcanid Empire trouble themselves with this question. It is not within a man or woman's power to choose. Their destiny is determined before their birth, and to those who bore them. And yet, your peculiar birth has granted you a choice. Your father is a man of nobility, a worthy example in manners of duty and honor. Your mother is a commoner of lowly estate, humility and patience made flesh. And your sky is ablaze day and night in the light of the shining pillar, the beacon of the clergy. Your back bears the mark of the lash. Will you accept the drudgery and suffering that is the lot of the lowborn for your entire life? Or will you follow in the footsteps of your father and your father's father, and fight for the right to serve the empire as a noble of the mantle? Perhaps you will follow the twin gods' word and offer spiritual guidance to others. The answer lies out there in the vast, terrifying world. What awaits you beyond the walls of your home? Alright. Events that can happen in this chapter. Gloria's secret. You discover a secret society your sister Gloria has joined. Stephen's disgrace. You find out about your elder brother's forbidden love. Blood Tide. You join the blood tide of the Bronte family. Nathan's abdomation. Your abdomination? Abomination. A domination. Your younger brother Nathan Brontier receives a spiritual animation from you. Matters of the heart. You experience your first romantic feelings. Revelation of the tree. You experience a revelation by the sacred silver tree. Sophia saved. You save a local girl named Sophia from lesser death. Nobility. Represents how noble your thoughts and deeds are in your pursuit of honorable ideals of the nobleman. It affects your chances of becoming a noble of the mantle, and the future skills are crucial for a noble estate. Represents how quick-witted you are, and how skillfully you can manipulate a situation to your own end. It affects your ability to survive without the privilege of nobility and future skills that are crucial for a commoner. Your aspiration to unlock the mysteries of creation and explore the divine in the mortal world, the people around you, and yourself. It affects your ability to become a priest, and future skill crucial for the clergy. Inner strength and the number of lesser deaths you have experienced. -5, died once. I have a relation screen. I have no relationships yet. I have a map of the empire. I am currently in Endazot. Eternia is the capital. And Azot seems to be in the Magra district area. These are my surrounding towns. Got a bit of details there. And the province. Overseer Archduke Melidus. He has a indifference to us. Supreme Lord, the province of your birth. Patriarch of the Magra found... Okay, so... The province. I believe he is the leader of this province then. Right? Yeah, Archduke of Magra. So Magra's Archduke is this guy. And so he is the king, I guess, or the leader of the capital. The last to join the empire. The southern province of Magra is a arid wasteland ruled by Archduke Melidus. Alright. The current break to go to the store. Gotcha. So, the Overseer is in power, the Church is the Old Faith, the wealth of Magra is secure, and the order is peaceful. Oh yeah, you're working. Continue. Last time I played, I was a clergy, and so I'm very interested in playing more toward the noble side of things. The family expects more and more of you as you grow up. The teachers and tutors hired by your father keep you on your toes at all times. Your life these days is dedicated to studying for your future, for the future of the Bronte family. Your younger brother Nathan keeps growing up too. He can hold a conversation now. You never refuse him when he comes to play, provided you have a bit of free time between your demanding lessons. It is a rainy day today. Father and mother have gone to the ball, and they left Nathan in your care. You lose track of time over the books in the sitting room, and Nathan goes off alone to splash in the creek. Soon you hear his voice begging you to come outside. He's on the porch, sobbing, all covered in dirt. You walk up to him as he continues the ball. It's all that kid. He pushed me into the ditch and called me names. He said I was fancy pants fool. I said I'll call my brother. He's still there. You have to go punish him, Penny. Nathan points at a lopsided wooden house, further down the street where the poor artisans live. You see two boys lingering there on the porch. They are clearly both commoners, but far from poor. One of them is almost as tall as Nathan, and he frowns in a funny way, just like him. The other looks older, almost your age, but he's more broad-shouldered and taller. His name is Thomas. You've heard it before. There, Penny, that's him. Nathan points at the younger boy and hides behind your back. Thomas grins and rolls up his sleeve to reveal strong forearms. He must have been helping his father with manual labor for quite some time. Listen up, rich boys. We don't give a damn about you or your friendship. We don't let nobody call our home a stinking rat hole. Your little brother earned his ditch dive. Maybe next time he'd dress normal and stop picking fights with people who can throw him in the mud. Your hands clenched into fists before you could react. Nathan called them names first. No wonder they did the same. That's how it goes. But pushing your brother into a ditch is too much. Thomas stands tall and confident. He sees no threat to you. He sees no threat in you. You're ready to get for a fight. You feel a tug in your sleeve. You turn your head to see Nathan, the one who started this whole mess. Nathan is not grateful. So I can't do that. That sucks. Alright. I wish I could listen to my brother first. I want to up my unity, but I cannot do it. My brother is not grateful to me. Alright. I think I want to just lean toward nobility. Come at Thomas and give him a beating. A bold-faced bully is taller and clearly stronger, but nobody talks to you like that. You leap at Thomas and start tearing into him. He jumps backwards, surprised by your assault, and it takes a moment to compose himself, but now he's ready. His fists cover his face, and he attacks you with a quick jab. It's now your turn to take a step backwards. You start trading blows, huffing and puffing with rage. Your younger brother gawk in awe at the sight. Thomas does not resort to fancy moves, dirty tricks, or stupid taunts. He displays nothing but skill earned in many a street fight, and his heavy fists aim for your head. You keep dodging him again and again, trying to reach him. He takes a couple of glancing blows, but easily shakes them off. What a bruiser! You start swinging your fist with greater and greater fury. Your heart is pounding like a hammer. You see nothing but the foe in front of you. How much longer will this take? You're worn out. Your breath grows ragged and your muscles grow heavy, but there's no way you can give up now. Nathan is watching you. Desperate and out of options, you swing and punch Thomas square in the nose. Then immediately his fists smack you in the temple. The blow rings through your head like a bell and blinds you for a moment. The world swims before your eyes. You clutch at your head and get your bearings. Thomas is standing in front of you, blood dripping from his nose. You no longer want to fight it out, and it seems your opponent would rather end it too. But you keep standing there, eyeing each other angrily. Then suddenly you hear an angry shout right next to you. An enraged man in a craftsman's apron is shaping his fist. Thomas' face contorts in terror right away. It's my father! Run! The punishment for fighting is flogging, and the mere prospect of that makes you run like the wind. Thomas sprints in front of you. You dash across the rotten wooden planks from back alley, up and over the lopsided fence, across a giant puddle in one leap, and then forward the tall grass. You hide there and stay quiet. You hear no sounds of pursuit. You exchange glances with Thomas and start laughing. His laughter is loud and infectious, but soon he cuts it short and grows sadder. I'll get flogged anyways. My dad's always quick to give me a beating. And then he'll start nagging me about the lots and the prayers for days like he always does. Why do I have to get myself mixed up in this stuff? The fighting's the only way to prove you're worth anything, right? The adults didn't see you fighting, you tell them, so all you have to do is convince them that you weren't. Nosebleeds happen, right? But they get nosebleeds all the time. Well, we could try. Let's just hope our little brothers don't tell on us. I'll talk to mine. There's a scratch on your head, so don't let them see it. Good thing I didn't hit you in the face. There, good as new. You assure him. What do? You assure him that Nathan will never tell him, and in return, you'll make sure he behaves himself so he doesn't get tossed in a ditch again. Oh, just say hi. Maybe send her some memes. With that, you shake hands with Thomas. His handshake is as strong as you would expect based on his fists. You make your way out of the tall grass, and you need to leave before Thomas's father goes to your family and complains about you breaking your lot. Yeah, just send her some memes. It's so easy, Alex. Yeah, send her some memes. You come to the realization on the way back you had no idea the place where you were hiding even existed, and it wasn't too far from home. Thomas smiles in excitement when he hears this. Oh, I know lots of places like that. I'll tell you what. If we get out of this mess today, I'll show you a way in the old wall. It's a perfect place to build forts. I dragged a bunch of wooden planks there. Too bad it's no fun to build all alone. My brother never helps. He just gets in the way. Oh. He lives on the same street, born in a family of humble artisans. His dream is to change his lot, get a military education, and earn the right to the sword. He intends to join the Imperial Legion. Very cool. Alright. Unprincipled. You made a friend, a boy named Thomas. Oh, beans in the store? Huge. It is blisteringly hot today, even for the sun-parched land of Magra. As soon as you are done with your studies, you dash outdoors and out of the stuffy room. You and Thomas roll up your shirt sleeves, but it hardly helps. You'd gladly go shirtless had you only been the company of other boys, but there are 3 girls in the yard today. They are doing laundry in a big wash tub, whispering and giggling. Right, Cooked? It's goated. But there are 3 girls in the yard today. If you could, you would gladly keep watching one of them at work. She has big eyes of deep blue. Her dark hair is braided, and her plain gray dress is mended and patched all over. Her name is Sophia. She throws her head back a little when she laughs. The rays of sun are reflected in her eyes. You, Thomas, and the other boys keep telling silly stories, anything to make her laugh. You sure love telling me tales, Penny. Oh, I remember this one time. But then Sophia hears a voice calling her home. She nods to you and runs across the street smiling. Her light steps carry her forward, but her eyes are looking elsewhere. Then a stone on the road catches her foot. She stumbles and falls flat into the dust. The streets start shaking from the thundering of hooves. Riders appear on the road from around the corner. They bear a coat of arms and recognize right away a sable serpented blade. A sable serpent blade upon the field of vert. It symbolizes Meliodas dynasty, the family of the province Archduke. The horses dash forward. A lost wooden toy in the road cracks under their hooves. They will not slow down. They are nobles, and the rest must make way for them. Sophia is in their way. Just now started to get back to her feet. Her mother is crying for her desperately to come behind the fence. Oh, not enough willpower to save her. You freeze in terror. The riders surely will see the girl. Are they going to stop, or are they going to trample her? Only a few moments, the beautiful girl will be toppled, trampled, and crushed. I have to stay where I am. You stand frozen by the roadside, unable to look away as the cloud of dust covers your entire street. You feel as if a massive, maddened beast whipped into a merciless frenzy has just passed by you. You hear no screams, no cracking of bones, nothing but the deafening din of hooves. Once the horses are gone, you see the dust settles. You can finally see the road again, and the repulsive blob of blood, flesh, and bone are left on it. You can still see traces of Sophia in that mess, her dark hair, the remains of her dress, but it is no longer her. Sophia's earthly remains slowly dissipate and melt into the air. Her mother's eyes are filled with grief as she watches. She hunches over and slowly backs into the house. You can hear the riders far away down the road. None of them even bothered to look back. Your friends walk away, at a loss for words. You make your way home, dazed by what you have seen. You are still dazed as you retell these events to your mother, unable to look up from the floor. After a moment of silence, she embraces you and you calm down. Poor girl. What a terrible, painful death. But you must know that is not her true death. By the twins' mercy, we are all given enough time in this world. Should you die before your time, you will be brought back by their grace. For 3 times they will rescue you from a terrible fate, but the 4th death is true and final for all. Every loss of a life we are granted our birth is a heavy blow to us, but the gods told us not to mourn a lesser death. Everyone will keep on living as though nothing ever happened, even Sophia's parents. Their family is poor. They have no family crypt like we do. When the girl's soul comes back to life, her body will be reborn in the city church where all the wounds healed. Do not mourn her, my son, but thank the twin gods for their justice. You see Sophia by her house a few days later, and she looks completely fine, without so much as a scratch. The other children tell you that her parents now forbid her to leave the yard after dying such an early first death. You call out Sophia's name, and she looks at you briefly, then walks back inside. Sophia never talks to you again. Sophia disappeared after the terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossiped that her parents sent her off to serve a rich, noble dynasty. You haven't seen each other since that day, but you still remember Sophia's eyes, the sunlight shining in them. And no matter what, life goes on. You are 10 years old now. Your studies continue, and you are learning more about the land you live in. Endazode is an ancient city in the imperial province by the name of Magra. All soil in Magra was turned to ash eons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of Duke Mar Melanidas. The magical arts are all but gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. Since then, the entire province was lain barren, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure, with a few precise plants taking roots on their own. All fertile land in Magra is bought elsewhere and brought here by the endless caravan of carts and carriages. To pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra became skilled in many trades, primarily mining, digging for metals and stone. Last fall, there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first of such incident frightened the citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon, everyone grew used to it. Father explains that the miners were using a new invention called gunpowder. It makes it easier for them to reach the precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. Gunpowder? That's a problem. Then one day, a thunderous explosion rocks the city, and black billowing smoke covers the houses. People are struck in their homes, and windows tightly shut. The air is impossible to breathe. Nathan coughs all the time. Gloria and you cough only when nobody is watching. If Mother hears it, she'll make you inhale the hot herbal vapors, just like Nathan. It takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour out onto the streets and meet their friends. Thomas is eager to share everything he knows with the incident with you. They took lots of burnt-up people to the city temple, Mom told me. She was helping the healers. There are many rumors. Some claim it was a work of a beast stirred into slumber, while others say it's surviving witches and continue to threaten the order of the Empire with their accursed powers. Penny looks like he thinks he deserves to live. That's so true! But as for you, you patiently wait for Father to come back home, and then you'll ask him about it. Father spends day and night working in the prefecture, while Mother spends all her time in prayer. It takes a full week for Father to finally come home. He's almost completely spent. You muster enough courage during dinner to ask him what happened outside the city. You look like a guinea pig, thank you. Father raises his head. His face is bleak, weary mask, and starts muttering his proclamation. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. A campfire story? It's a mine outside the city. They were trying to get a vein of ore. There was an explosion. The mine caved in, and the black smoke started flowing. Many workers died there. I am cross-faded, am zeeked. It was all because it was Count El Velasco, who owns the mines, wanted them to start mining that vein before they were ready. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twins thought their final time had come. Prefecture has been inundated with complaints from families that have lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. Count Elvesco blames gunpowder for the disaster. The prefecture and the newspapers just repeat whatever he says, but it's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our province always paid for with the commoner's life? Then, without warning, he grows silent again. You keep thinking about it for days. Can human life really end so easily? A single moment of bad luck and you die, only to be re-emerged from a temple or the family crypt with a black mark on your arm. Or worse, you remain where you fell, dead, never to be born again. Ever. Peace down and wealth up. During lunch, Father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare some important guests. Your elder brother Stephen will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather Gregor Bronte, as well as a noble friend of the family. You were excited about your brother's return. It has been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? You and your father await the guests anxiously. The doorbell rings and 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather's the first to come in, naturally. He has not changed a bit since his last visit. His eyes on the house with contempt, still looking for any reason to demean it. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver, whom you barely recognize as your brother. Stephen casts a glance at your thoroughbrand clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. The last end of the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You have heard a lot about this man from father and grandfather. He is Baron Augustin L. Bourne, Stephen's uncle, a family friend and the province's prefect, which means he is the head of the judge and thus father's superior. Sir L. Bourne smiles lightly and offers you his hand. And this must be your younger son, Penny, yes? You have your father's eyes, young man. Father bows slightly to grandfather and Sir L. Bourne, but there's a moment of quiet when Stephen turns calm. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There's a question in Stephen's eyes as he looks at grandfather. The old man shakes his head almost impertinently. We noblemen oughtn't put our emotions on public display, father. Not even after a lengthy separation. There is no embrace. Instead, Stephen nods to Father curtly. In response, and he responds in kind, his face devoid of emotion. After the meeting, you proceed to the sitting room. Elborn is the first to enter. He kisses his mother's hand, and Gloria's too. He tussles Nathan's hair after seeing him hiding by the table. Grandfather acknowledges them with a glum nod. Greetings, Lydia Bronte. I remember you when you were kind to me when I was but a child. And you must be Nathan. You could barely walk when I last saw you. Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely, not even a greeting. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but merely punctuate the overwhelming tension of the table. Elborn is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. The dinner is splendid, Lydia. Did you choose the dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. It warms my heart to know Stephen spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate. Your fork freezes in the air halfway through your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but words of praise for lowborn women are not one of them. You cast your glance at grandfather. He looks like he's about to choke on those words. It would do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals. Please, Gregor. Parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love. I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stephen. But there was still a family for him. He was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? And besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always the best. After all, Robert earned the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps. And who knows, perhaps even the younger men of Bronte family will contribute to the... You clumsy, low-born cretin! Everyone is startled by this sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He is glaring at a young lady servant holding the pitcher over a glass. Stephen is sitting right next to her, dabbling his napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket. Be gone this instant! Your mother is better at impulse spending. She's good at it, or she doesn't do it often. The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on the small table by the door. After a quiet moment, Elborn smiles again. It appears the servants have left us, yet dinner is far from over. Better meaning she does it a lot more. So true. Worry not, Uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink. Stephen glares at Gloria across the table. She's sitting right over you. She shrinks down and hunches over his gaze. Father furrows his brow. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stephen's gaze does not move. The silence lasts far too long. Then she starts to rise from her chair. If the Bronte gentlemen so wish it. Your hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his family when his own mother and sister like this? It is all grandfather's doing. Stephen could not even bring himself to embrace father without his permission. And yet they are noblemen. They have the right to act this way. Live it, Tim. So true. She paid for your stuff. I love going to the grocery store or maybe their store with my parents because they'll just give me loot. If there's any way this dinner can even become more unbearable, you do not want to see it. I could join Gloria. I can make small talk over dinner, or I can insult my brother. I don't want bad blood. I think I want to get willpower. Yeah. I think I want willpower. Is willpower good for you too? I don't really care about making Gregor happy. And I really don't want Stephen to hate me. It was only $3, but you ended up spending $20 on her part. That's so goated. Remove the need for phone number in your Twitch. Oh, you want all these bots to be in my Twitch cooked? You want all the bots in my Twitch cooked? You hear that, Bean? Cooked wants there to be a bunch of bots and spammers in my Twitch chat. I'm not even sure how to remove the need for a phone number. I didn't know I had that. The requirement following for 5 minutes. What's my required following? Is it a long time? Twitch. Is it a very long time? I don't know how long any of that is. I haven't looked at my creator dashboard in such a long time. One second. Community. Where would I even do that? Moderation, maybe? Yeah. Phone verification is off. Email verification is on. Alright. There we go. I got it set up in a way. Is that actually going to save? Alright, you should be able to talk now. There you go. That should be good. Oh, hey, Shadow. I know, right? Check this out. I actually was showing this off a while ago. There was, I was looking at the adopted. I remembered I was adopted by you as well. You beat me 10 times in chess, which is miserable. Yeah, Hypixel did not take kindly to us like loading it full. I remember I got Hypixel banned for a while and I reloaded and got Hypixel banned again. It was not a good moment. I forgot the Nightmate. You made a fool out of me. Alright, we're gonna join Gloria in her plight. Get some willpower and make Gloria happy with me. You deliberate for a moment and take the napkin off the lap and rise to join Gloria. A moment later, you hear the sound of another chair moving. Your mother joins you. The three of you now refill glasses, serve food, and clear away dirty dishes. Sir Elborn tries to make small talk with Father, but in vain, so he focuses his attention on Grandfather and Stephen. Grandfather is pleased to inform him of Stephen's achievements at the boarding school, especially his exemplary sword fighting skills. He constantly stresses the importance of your elder brother for the future of the family. You listen to him dispassionately as you continue serving new dishes to the table. As you wait at the nobleman's table, you, your sister, and mother never bump into each other. Your labor is impeccable. Grandfather couldn't have found fault with you even if he tried. Your shoulders and back are aching, but being a manservant inside your own house works even more. When the guests finally leave, Mother and Gloria embrace you in relief. You did not neglect your relatives and shared the humiliation, and the composure that you have shown gave you new strength. Alright, I'm ready for action again. Workint. What is it working? You said it no work? Oh, you can't go. I changed the settings on Twitch, so if you don't have an email verified, which I assume you don't, you need to have the account made for a week, and you need to be followed for at least a day, which I assume you've done both of those things. What does it say whenever you try to type? Because I don't have phone verification needed. You're not banned. It needs your phone number? I don't need your phone number. My phone number verification is off. Yeah. If you can't type, that must be your own Twitch. Well, I didn't change anything for the phone number. That might just be Twitch requiring you to have a phone number just for Twitch's sake. But I don't need you to have a phone number personally in my chat. It's sad. It'd be nice if you could hop in the Twitch chat with them. I have little emojis on Twitch side. I guess it is two-factor, but it sucks that Cooked has to do that. My chat doesn't require it specifically. Hot, dry winds sweep through the city from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Endazote prefer to remain in their chambers. But my little thing says it's not required on my settings. I'm not sure exactly why it would say that. I mean, that's not right. The noble residents of Endazote prefer to remain in their chambers, while the commoners huddle in tents around the shade of the silver tree. You're on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to a noble acquaintance, and you are to deliver it. Thomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The two of you are inseparable now. It's probably a this stream kind of thing, or it needs to update still. Maybe, but I didn't even touch the phone setting. It was already turned off. The errand is an easy one. She decided to take this opportunity to loiter around the parts of Endazote where the nobles used to live. So, here you are, in the middle of the city, square resting on the ancient brickwork by Old Fountain, in the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Thomas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's basin. You got your loot? That's good. It's a hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back in the workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy your goods someday, or you become a manservant to some noble. You never get a chance to enjoy life. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer. But Thomas waves your words away. Yeah, I know all that already, but they keep drilling that stuff into me. We must be humble. Our strength is patience and persistence. So yeah, I say I want to make my fortune no matter what. So how ain't that living by my lot, I ask you? But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you, for example, Bronte. Your father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one, just look at your hands. You never had to work as hard as me, but we have the same lot, so we're supposed to suffer the same. Or look at your father. He's a judge. He toils at the prefecture day and night doing his judging, and he's a noble. I've never seen an Arcanian work as hard as he does. You shrug. Arcanians are a different race. The books say they are born to rule over humans. They are never commoners, always nobles by the sword of birth. They founded the empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. Arcanins are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is as a noble shade of blue. If the books are to be believed, of course, you have never seen one yourself. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rabble have no place here. You hear the clattering of hooves and wheels against the cobblestone. You see flags bearing a coat of arms, a sable serpent on the vert of the field of the vert. It makes you squirm. It is the Archduke's coat of arms, the Millendius dynasty. The carriage doors open, revealing a young lady in a luxurious dress. You cannot look away from her. Those dainty shoulders, suggested but not revealed to the cut of her dress. Her black hair cascading over them. Her stately, slim silhouette, her pouty lips and prim nose, and those eyes, dark like the night sky. The way she moves, fluidly and gracefully, and most incredible of all, her skin glows an azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. She is an Arcanin. Clear the way for me. The Millendius guardsmen work quickly to clear the way for the fountain of the Arcanin lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in bizarre patterns. I am a terrible storyteller. I'm stuttering through every sentence. Oh. With one elegant motion, she reveals her handkerchief and leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water. Well, I'll be. That's Octavia Millendius, Archduke's own daughter. The Arcanin turns away and proceeds gracefully back to her carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall into the cobblestone right next to you. Her handkerchief. Right there by your feet. Intricate craftsmanship. Expensive woven fabric. Delicately decorated with emerald fragile. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare to draw a beautiful Arcanin attention in order to return her lost possession? Or would you rather not attempt to cross the chasm between you and her? We could give back her handkerchief, which would lower my willpower. It would introduce matters of the heart, and Octavia Melendres would remember me. We could stash it and get more willpower and make our friend like us more. Or we could keep it as a memento and increase our willpower even more. Should we spend our willpower in order to gain the memory of our Archduke's daughter? Or should we focus more on willpower and save our strength for something else? Personally, I think this is an interesting path, but if you would like willpower, I think we could do that as well. Well, I know there's a little bit of a delay, but as I don't see any answers, I believe my delay is less than like 10 seconds. I think I will go for giving the handkerchief back to Octavia. Stability or chaos is a question. Is it a question? Chaos, of course. At the cost of a little less willpower, we will give back the handkerchief. It takes a moment for you to overcome your fear. You follow the young lady Melendres and call out to her nervous voice. She turns around, her beautiful face marred by a puzzled expression. You extend the dropped handkerchief towards her. Lady Octavia's face contorts into a sneer. She signs the guardsman indifferently. The guardsman's gauntlet-clad hand slaps you in the face. It rings your head like a heavy bell. Your nose cracks obediently under the staggering force. The rest of you follow suit, and you fall prone. You can discern the guardsman's voice through a painful din in your ears. Should I take the handkerchief back, lady? As the commoner's hands have befouled it, let him wipe himself with it for all I care. The carriage drives away. Thomas runs up to you and drags you back to the fountain. Your head is still ringing from the blow. The fateful handkerchief is crumpled up in your hand. Lady Arcanum remembers you from the days of youth. Meet a girl. You experience your first romantic feelings. "12 years old now, you overhear an important conversation. It is a spring night, and Mother has sent everyone to bed. You walk past Father's study and hear voices coming from beyond the door. Grandfather is yelling and Father is replying quietly. The elder Bronte men are fighting, arguing about the place of the commoners in the city. You sneak outside and avoid Mother's attention, and hide next to the open window of the study. Perhaps they'll mention you too. That lowlife idiot had the gall to pay me a visit and beg for some service. He had the insolence to ask me outright. He thought I was going to support his claim for the chairman's seat in the lesser quorum. How dare he? Father, please listen. Mayor Ergamot may be a lowborn, but he carries a lot of clout in Magrea. He owns 5 iron mines. A friend like him could be quite useful, should he become the chairman of the lesser quorum. Don't give a damn about this Ergamot, Robert. What he is, however, he is low-born. He's a lot of humility and obedience. The likes of him can never rule anything. They're not but a flock of sheep that needs a firm, noble hand to guide them. I wasted so many years trying to squash the quorum decree, but that cursed Cornelius Tempest did everything in his power to make the Emperor sign that pathetic screed. Now even lowlives can wield power. True power, Robert. Just the right to discuss the size of Archduke's tax, nothing more. That is only the beginning. What's next? Are they going to arm the lowlives now? Make them into judges? If the Empire rejects the foundations and lots, the entire Epidus will crumble. Bah! Who am I telling this to? It already is crumbling. And you, my son and heir, are the harbinger of its destruction. Father, I'm begging you. I do not wish to marry a third time. Lydia is a good wife and a dutiful mother to my children. If you would allow her to. I will allow them nothing. Neither Egmont nor that freeloading wench of yours. What will you want me to do next? Live by the laws of the lowborn? I can already see where this is going. I'd rather run my own sword through my gut and live in this country where nobles and lowlives share the same rights. My only dream is to see the name of Bronte in the Blue Book, but that dream will never come true. They will never call me Venerable El Bronte, and that's all because of this marriage of yours. My only hope now is to hear Stephen addressed in such a manner one day. Thank the twins that didn't let you ruin that boy. He's about to grow up a true nobleman. His children will bear the name of El Bronte. You have 2 more grandsons. Those spineless milksops from the common lot. They're incapable of anything. The best your middle son could do is sneak into the Imperial College and get ennobled by the mantle. Although I have grave doubts about that, even that. As for that downtrodden Nathan, I held out no hope for him whatsoever. You hear grandfather's heavy footsteps and thudding of his cane, and the slamming of the door. It's time to sneak back home before you're discovered. Overseer is still in power. You started studying at the school of Sir Tiborn and began to master the sciences. Wonderful! We're in school, friends! Finally, the day come when your teacher stopped coming to the house. But before you can breathe a sigh of relief and put away the books, Father asks you to come to his study. You've grown, my son. It's time for you to continue your education away from home. I've chosen a deserving school for you, Sir Tibor's School for the children of noblemen and well-off commoners. Naturally, it's not a boarding school for nobles, so you will study there during the day and come back home in the evening. You share the news with your best friend Thomas. Sir Tibor's School, eh? I gotta ask my parents to send me there too as they get the coin together. Father says he workshops as well day and night for years to save up for my education. The school is based in an ancient estate of Arcanine design. The classrooms are tall and spacious with massive benches, and sounds of scraping quills and lectures on history, imperial law, and theology echo under the vaulted ceilings. The rules are strict, the lessons tiring. Restless, Thomas keeps getting distracted, and several times he gets his hand slapped with a stick for it. Every teacher demands flawless mastery of their subject. Every day, Father asks you about your studies. You've already told him twice how Magura joined the Empire and how the nobles' court of honor is different from the commoners' civil court of the city prefecture. But Father keeps pressuring you to work even harder. When it comes time for bed, Mother will not let you go to sleep until you recite a newly learned prayer for her. And when it is time to go to the school, you promise every day that you will behave with great humility and steer clear of insolent behavior of any kind. For you still live by a commoner's lot, and that lot is hard work and suffering. Your first month in school draws to a close, and the teachers announce that there will be exams at the end of the month to determine the best and worst students in each subject. Father insists that you devote all your spare time to studying law and history if you wish to follow in his footsteps. But then you speak to Mother every day. But when you speak to Mother today, you start considering theology. You still remember the revelations and the divine visions that came to you in your earliest years. You only have 1 more day until the exam. You've already locked yourself in your room and it is getting late. Your desk is covered in handwritten notes surrounded by leather-bound books. Just looking at them is making you queasy, but you have to read through all of them again, at least for one of your subjects. There's a nagging thought on your mind. Thomas ended up getting in big trouble the other day. He got in a fight with several boys who lived next street, and they heard about the wooden fortress and got outraged by the fortification built by commoners. They swore to dismantle it. Thomas swore he would defend the fortress until the end. Perhaps you should abandon the books and rescue a friend in need. But then you hear your little brother Nathan knocking at the door. He stands there shyly, not saying a word, he often does that, standing still and saying speechless until either you speak first or he runs away. But this time he actually says something. The door's locked. Are you okay, Penny? Is there anything I can do to help? Your head is spinning. The last thing before the school exam. This is the last evening before the school exam. If you fail, your family will be very disappointed. You have to refresh your memory on law or theology. Either one or the other. But Thomas, your fort are about to be stormed. Why today of all days? You grind your teeth in rage at the thought. Nathan is by the door, trying not to bother you. He wants to help you the only way he can, for reasons known only to him. Will you accept his help? Agreed. I either want to focus on law because I want to go the path of nobility, or I think it'd be nice to spend the moment with. I don't really care about. I love Thomas, but I don't really want to go help him. I don't care about ingenuity here. Nathan, I think it'd be nice to help Nathan and get willpower, but I will say I'm really wanting to get nobility in this time, and I'm wondering if I should go for this here, or if I should focus more on willpower and then getting more nobility later. Alright, I'll side with that. I don't really have much strong opinion either way. You push Nathan out of the room. He cannot possibly help you prepare for the exam. Soon your eyes start to hurt from all the legal terms and chronological titles of the imperial edicts. You repeat everything, every line of it, until your head hurts and your vision starts to blur. When Father walks in, he chuckles in approval. You fall asleep right there amidst the books. Morning comes and you barely have time to wake up before you're walking to the menacing edifice of the school. Time for law. All the students sit still, glued to the benches in terror. The teacher's voice singles you out. If a commoner insults a noble honor, how ought he be dealt with according to the imperial law? Bring the commoner to prefecture where the judge will sentence him to corporal punishment. And what if the noble takes the commoner's life by negligence or whim? The noble is fined for the providential authorities. Surprising even yourself, you give the correct answer to these questions and many more that follow. The next subject is the history of the Blessed Archanan Empire. You masterfully recount the history of every province they merged with their empire, from Magna to Mergna. Then you recite the names of every tempest who has ruled the empire. You hate it here cooked? I'm sorry that Twitch isn't working. I don't know how to make that work for you. You conquer every question the teacher asks you about confusing a single date. It's weird that it isn't working for you, really. Twitch should be nice. You get the highest grade in law and history, and an average grade in theology. You relay the teacher's praise to Father over dinner. He smiles, pleased with you. Well done, my son. I can see how hard you have been working. Keep at it, and you will be among the Empire's greatest servants. I am proud of you. Oh, we're honorable now. Your education continues. As you study imperial law, you come to realize that there is a certain hierarchy even within the noble estate. It seems your father's status is not quite equal to that of a more eminent human and Archanan gentry. You follow home with this new information at your disposal. Father asks you about school after dinner, as he always does. And what is the difference between the nobles of the mantle and those of the sword, Penny? You already have the answer ready. The latter status is hereditary, meaning that it is passed down from father to son. After the Archanans, nobles of the sword are the most eminent humans in the empire. They own land and estates, and they fill offices of the highest ranks, and the names of their bloodline are preserved within the Great Blue Book. Nobility of the sword can only be granted only by the overseer or the province or the emperor himself. And how much are eminent people addressed? With the honorific L before their last name, you respond, Sir Augustus L. Bourne, for example. Father Panto the shoulder, clearly pleased. And what about the Archanan and their status? What have you learned about them? The Archanan stand above the human gentry. They are born to rule over humans regardless of their titles. No L is required when addressing them. They need no honorifics, for the names of their ancient dynasties are known to all. Father nods somberly. Yes, we can never be their equals. Do whatever an Archanan tells you and never defy them. Ever. And what about grandfather and me? Where do we stand as nobles? That's easy. Father and grandfather are nobles of the mantle. The title cannot be inherited and is earned by a commoner as a reward for great service to the Empire in the Legion or as a civil servant. Father suddenly grows quiet and looks you in the eye intently. Yes, and someday you will earn a noble title too, son. All in due time. So Tibur's school teaches children of all stripes. The nobles of the mantle and noble parents can send their sons here. And every passing day, the children of noblemen invert some new ways to snub and bully the commoners. Most of the time, the bullying leads them to Diederke, the son of a secretary for the city hall and self-important slob. The sons of noblemen never pick on you, however. They know that your father has been a noble by the mantle. However, Diederke and his Retoon soon choose Thomas as their favorite victim. Rutiny. Time and time again, that you ask your friend not to pay them any mind, but again and again, Thomas grows angry and snaps at their self-satisfied mockery. It is early morning, and the students are busy flocking to the classrooms for the next lesson. You wave Thomas over, and only when you see him. He waves back at you, and then a bucket full of slop splashes on him. Needless to say, it is the work of Diederik and the entourage. You hear his familiar creaky laughter. Your tailor's son stinks. How dare he sit next to decent folk? Thomas clenches his fist. You're dead, Diederik. He throws himself at Diederik's haughty entourage like a soldier ready to wage war. He attacks them first. This is just what they expected, and they are free to retaliate. He barely makes one movement before 4 pairs of hands grab him at once. Diederik sneers and kicks your friend in the belly. Thomas gasps for air and starts coughing. You start between as Diederik wedges into the kick. The nobleman's son cocks an eyebrow. Why do you mingle with commoners, he asks. Your father is a noble of the mantle. You ought to be friends with your own kind. You're equals, not the dirt beneath your feet. Behind him, 4 boys hold Thomas down as he struggles furiously. The other students are watching you, frozen in fear. Diederik hotly extends his hand to you. He clearly expects you to shake it. What do you do? Oh, God. Shake his hand? Thomas would not like that. Do I challenge into a fight or do I accept it? Oh, Thomas is my friend. I have never done this before, and I don't know if I want to. My father would be happy, but Thomas... What do I do here? I'm tempted to do... I've always gone for Thomas, but I'm tempted to lean toward the nobleman. But I don't want to be that kind of nobleman. But will I get where I want to be if I don't lean with the nobleman? Will I get where I want to be if I don't lean toward the nobleman? I'd like to maybe be with Octavia. But will I get there if I stay with my friend Thomas? I want to be more noble. You do not shake his hand. Instead, you challenge Diederik to a display at least some dignity by fighting you one-on-one. That is, if he considers himself a nobleman's son, of course. Diederik's face grows serious. There's no way for her to refuse a challenge in public. Diederik makes a sign, and Thomas is released and pushed to the floor. He gets back on his feet, cursing and itching to rush at them again, but you hold your friend back. The teacher of Imperial Law comes into the room just in time. Everyone immediately returns to their seats. A day full of lessons begin. You keep daydreaming with Diederik's face and how you're going to put an end to that nasty smile of his. Let's catch that bastard together and clean his clock. He hurt me, not you. The deal has been made, you tell your friend. This is a matter of honor now. Thomas huffs angrily but agrees. Diederik is already waiting for you in the narrow back street by the school, his routine by his side. You walk forward and give him an opportunity to end this dispute once and for all. This is the nobleman's way. If you win the battle, Diederik and the other children of the nobleman will never pick on commoner's side again. If he wins, you will never stand in the way and protect other students. You fight him one-on-one. Diederik walks forward uncertainly. You roll up both sleeves. You raise your fist in a fighting stance. Diederik tries to copy your movements. You hit him first. Diederik goes down, manages to land several glancing blows, but he is fighting a losing battle. He's never been in a real street fight before. Thomas nods in approval, but you have learned a lot from him. It does not take long for Diederik to stop fighting back. One more blow and he squeals and raises his hands. You have won. You turn the other nobleman's son with a victorious look in your face. No more teasing. And if anyone else says so much as one bad word about Thomas, they'll pay. Theoderic's former routines disperse silently. Your theology teachers tell you about Inazote. It is more than just a provincial capital. It is also a sacred place blessed by the gods. It is where the twin gods' first disciples spilled their blood, and from that blood grew the sacred silver tree. Its enormous foliage hangs over the city. You see its branches in the sky every day, but you'll never approach the trunk of the tree yourself. Today you'll be taking your first trip to the silver tree. Your class is visiting a surface that is a great temple in the great temple by the tree's very roots. Thanks to your theology teacher, you and your other students have witnessed the landmark of the twins' advent up close. Everybody is excited. Soon, you and the other boys enter the slums surrounding the church district of Inazote. The roots are pulsating under your feet. They spread throughout all of the area. Pathetic, cramped hovels and filthy streets surround the trunk of the tree. They are a home to paupers, day laborers, and preachers. The people of the district bow humbly to you and point you toward the temple. They seem at peace despite the abject poverty in which they live. All who live directly beneath the tree are filled with its divine grace, your teacher says. People come here to make peace with the world and their fate in it. Your class goes unusually quiet. Everyone is listening to the rustling of the leaves and underground beating of their roots. The sky above you is obscured by the tree's canopy. You find the temple of the twins right there, right next to the tremendous trunk of the tree. It almost seems a part of it. There's a crowd there. Hello, Bean. There's a crowd there. Pilgrims dressed in traveling clothes, paupers and beggars, common people of the city, and an occasional well-dressed noble. There are arguments among some of the people who are gathered in separate, small groups. Many people are wandering around staring upward at the tree's branches. The tree impresses you with its might and its calm emanating from it. You are filled with the desire to sit down and think of the world, to learn something about yourself, to touch the silver white bark and hearken to the whispering leaves. You are distracted enough to fall back for the rest of your classmates. You notice a small path. It should take you right next to the trunk. A tall, red-haired woman walks out of the crowd of pilgrims. She is wearing a worn white robe. She is no longer young, but her face is youthful and covered in freckles. Her hands clutch a book. You've never seen a pilgrim lady before. She looks at you almost as if you recognized a lifelong friend. She beckons you and says her name. Matilda. Matilde. Matilde. A preacher of Astina. What she says next shakes you to your very core. It is commendable to see a young man so keen to learn the teachings of the twins, she says. Yet, you will never follow the light of the truth within the walls of the temple. Inside, you will find only those who lies about the lots, hearing the words of prophets to the sacrifices of the past centuries. Yet, anyone who sets out to read the accounts of the twins' own lives know that they were never so much as mentioned the lots. The red-haired preacher's words frighten you. They clash with everything you've heard from Mother, everything you have been taught in school. The lots are a lie? You freeze in fear. Should you argue with Matilde, or ask her for more information? Or should you treat her as a madwoman and catch up with your classmates? You suddenly feel a small, warm hand grasp of your own. You see a girl right next to you. She's just a little older than you, wearing a black dress. They're threadbare and almost spotless. Her hair is covered in a handkerchief and only a single golden lock showing. Her brown eyes are burning with rage, her hand pulling you away from the red-haired preacher. You stare in confusion at the strange young girl. Your cheeks flush by the sudden touch, but there's a bit of color in her cheeks too. But she starts speaking to you quickly. Don't listen to her. She's dangerous. Come to the temple with me. Only there will you see the truth. You stand there surrounded by the crowds of praying pilgrims, and the sounds of shuffling feet sworn between the two people you have never seen before. And each of them expects you to follow her. But all while you hear the whispering of the tree's branches. The branches reach out for you, almost as if the tree wishes to speak to itself. Can you hear its voice? We do not have the ability to give in to the epiphany. I don't care. I want to actually just approach the tree. I don't care for either of these things. The tree is beautiful. The silver white foliage stretches the sky up towards the sky. Held aloft by a trunk so thick it would challenge to walk around it. The leaves rustle and whisper peacefully in the wind. The tree, it seems to speak to you. You walk away from the odd-looking preacher and the young acolyte, ignoring them as they call out to you. You walk around the temple and the crowd of people, getting closer to the tree with every step. You then extend a shaking hand and touch the bark. It is unusually warm. You can feel a pulse beneath the roots. The tree is alive. The roots are so gigantic they form large grottos, spaces of air embraced by roots in the ground. You squeeze into one of those grottos and it's unusually bright and quiet, shielded by the noise of Inazot. Right now, it is only you and the tree. You sit down and there are leaves rustling all around you. The only noise you hear is the beating pulse of life that flows through the tree. This pulse beats in time with your own heart. You feel clarity and calmness, free of doubt and frustration. The tree speaks to you, or are they your own thoughts? So strange, unfamiliar, and eye-opening. These thoughts speak of a soothing love and a crystal-clear law, and the love and law intertwining to bring a miracle of life to you. You stop slouching and your frown becomes a light smile. Hours pass like fleeting seconds. You lose track of time and overhear someone shouting your name. Alas, it is time to leave this grotto. The sun is setting over Inazot now. The day was quick to pass. Your teacher frowns, ready to scold you. You mumble an explanation. You say you are ready to be punished for disobedience. Yet the teacher nods in understanding. You keep looking back at the tree all the way. Whatever happened to you today, you find it difficult to put into words. Another school day has ended, and you are making your way home. Still mulling over the things you learned from your teachers, the founding of the empire, the eternal and unshakable rule of a single dynasty, the 3 estates, each with its own rights. What an odd sort of order the world has, and yet so mysterious. At last it sounds that way when your teachers talk about it. Mother is waiting for you on the porch. She smiles gently and sees you, and yet her expression still shows great concern. Father left on a trip to several distant margin towns a few days ago. Since then, Mother has been trying to tell you something, but she seems uncertain. Son, could you put your things away and come pray with me? You join Mother in prayer to the twins. She prays with fervent sincerity, her head bowed low, reciting the words of obedience to them and their greater design in the barely audible whisper. You repeat after her, just as she taught you ever since you were a little boy. When the prayer ends, Mother sighs and turns to you. Penny, my son, you are 13 now. You will be grown soon. It's time you learned about certain things that are important to our family. Difficult things. It's about your father and me, about our marriage. You gaze curiously in the Mother's eyes. I'm sure you've wondered about this before. Your father is a nobleman of the mantle. How could he marry a commoner with another man's child? But, you see, Penny, your father, when his first wife, Amelia Elborn, died, it was a painful blow to him. He lost the will to live, lost all purpose. He felt like his own destiny was cut short that day as well. And then he met me. You know the troubles I had in the past. I went to the prefecture as a petitioner to ask them for help, protection, justice. When I was a young girl, I worked at a small shop that sold crockery and dishes. A nobleman took a liking to me. May his name be forever forgotten. The twins know I was humble and honored his lot to rule, but he took me by force. Mother falls silent, summoning the courage to continue. Gloria is that nobleman's daughter, but he was outraged. How could I have the gall to burden him with a lowborn progeny? He turned me out in the street with that little baby girl in my arms. Mother's voice is shaking now. You take her hand tenderly. I had no home, no honor, nowhere to go, no one to help me. When I went to the prefecture, I didn't really think the judges would help me find justice against my former master. But Sir Robert heard my plea. His eyes met mine, and I believe that very moment the twins themselves granted him the gift of their love. Your father told me there was nothing he could do that make the despicable nobleman marry me. But He would never abandon me and baby Gloria, and if I agreed, he would take me into his home. Tears are running down your mother's cheeks. And I knew it, my son, how much his honor and reputation would suffer, but caring for me brought him back to life. It's like he experienced another sacrament. He rediscovered his noble purpose, his lot to rule and protect the others and care for others, but his decision to marry me, he's still paying for it today. Your father had the courage to defy your grandfather, the founder of his bloodline. If only you knew how much he had to endure, my son. And if only you knew the despicable rumors we heard of the Brontes all over Anazote. It was only thanks to the efforts of Sir Gregor that the Bronte bloodline managed to hang on to what it remained of its reputation, and none of the noble families have all but forgotten about the scandal. Thank the twins. Mother falls silent. She looks at you intentionally. Do you understand what she's telling you? My son, I'm not telling you just to share the pain of my past. I had no reason to complain. Even Sir Gregor has accepted me through gritted teeth. But you need to understand the heavy burden our family must bear, including our scandalous marriage and Gloria's foul origin. And Gloria, she can never be a Bronte. If the elder Brontes agreed, the news would stir up the old scandal in the minds of the high society. And if that were to happen, Penny, they would see your birth as illegitimate. What I have told you just now is something you have to know, son. You are about to enter adult life by my lot. I must be humble. I cannot tell you how to treat your family, but may I ask you this question? Now that you know all of this, do you still see Gloria as your sister? No, I'm not going to distance myself from Gloria. Of course. It's so tempting to have nobility, but of course Gloria is my sister. Filled with determination, you assure Mother that Gloria is and will always be your sister. You want Gloria to be a Bronte too. You want her to be part of the family. Who cares what the nobles of Anazote say? Mother beams a quiet joy when she hears this. Oh, Penny, if only you knew how happy that would make me, to have our family united at last. However, the joy on her face quickly comes with the concern. But I already owe Sir Robert a debt I can never repay. He's given my daughter so much, a home and education, his care and advice. The Bronte bloodline would suffer so much from Gloria's existence. We should just learn to accept her status as it is. Just then, Gloria carefully knocks on the door of your mother's chambers. Mother, Penny, I couldn't find you. You happily greet your sister. Yes, she is your sister. No old secrets can ever change that. Mother gives you and Gloria a kiss on the forehead and returns to her prayers. You and your sister walk downstairs together. Mother is alone by her bedside. Now, thanking the twins with a quiet prayer for the Bronte family they have given her. You hope they can hear her. Imagine choosing to not be a bitch. I know. I'm such a freak. You want me to be nobility? Bean! You freak, Bean! I didn't even see you say that. I'm already so mean to my sister, Bean. I've been so mean to my sister. You are 13 now. Another theology lesson. Today's sermon is about the priest and why the clergy is the only one of the 3 estates with the rights to interpret the lots and guide the other 2 estates accordingly. Thomas sits next to you, huffing and puffing as he fervently writes down the teacher's every word. But you've heard this all from Mother many times before, so you take this moment to daydream a little. Father promised to take you to the capital once your studies are complete. Why change? It's so true. I was thinking about doing it, but I don't know. I love my family, Bean. It's so difficult loving my family and wanting to also be a cool guy. But the teacher suddenly casts a stern look around the lecture hall and raises his voice at one of your classmates. A boy by the name of Brian jumps out of his seat. The teachers ask him to repeat what he just said. Brian freezes and seems to shrink. He tries to muster a reply, but nothing comes out. The class becomes agitated. Someone's about to get punished. The teacher now looms over Brian. The boy's cheeks are flushed, and his eyes are covered in tears. You watch the teacher's iron-bound book as he raises it sharply about to strike. Brian shrieks and raises a hand in front of him. A sudden flash. The teacher screams and buries his face in his arms. His hair is ablaze. His skin is covered in horrible burns. It's magic. Real magic. Just like in the books about the Maguria Rebellion. The class freezes in shock. There's a dull thud as an iron-bound book falls to the floor. Brian's hysterical laughter rends the silence. He stands up from his bench, fire in his eyes and sparks in his fingertips. There are screams now. Students run for the door. The teacher tries to extinguish his burning hair. Brian snaps his fingers and books of illustrates in the desk start turning to pillars of flame. He laughs and raises his arms. The curtains catch fire. The screams grow louder as the fires howl. Brian's face is tense and violent. His mouth is spewing flames and his whole body is shaking with laughter. He steps toward the door. You and Thomas glance at each other. He's going to burn the whole school down. Your friend's determination makes you brave. You run behind Brian and knock him off his feet. You both tumble to the floor, even though his clothes and his body sears your flesh. Brian screams, convulses, and grabs Thomas by the shoulders with his burning hands. Thomas howls but stays put, then knocks Brian senseless with several blows to the head. There are servants fussing around the room now. They put out the fire and take away the teacher, his body covered in horrible burns. You and Thomas remain next to Brian, who is on the floor, silent. Soon 3 men in black cloaks enter the doors of the school, each bearing an edict sealed with silver. The Inquisition. You and Thomas are told to step away from the witch. They lock Brian's neck in a silver collar and take him away. Once the Inquisitors remain behind all to tell the students what happened, that was magic, he explains, the ungodly power that twists the minds of men into savage instruments of murder. Only the sacred shackles of silver can hold them at bay. Only the power of the twins can save us from its evil grasp. The next day you are forbidden from ever mentioning Brian's name again. He is no more. A great day looms ahead. 100 years ago, Uther Tempest was anointed to rule over the Empire, blessed by the twins themselves. The Emperor's reign continues into the 2nd century. Celebrations in honor of the Tempest dynasty are held throughout the city, and the school is closed for 2 weeks because of that. Woo! On one of those evenings, Father tells everyone that Grandfather is going to bring Stephen back home from the holidays. They say families should celebrate the day of anointment together. You could benefit from your elder brother's company. With his noble education, Stephen might be able to teach you how noblemen are supposed to act. Soon, Stephen arrives. He now handles himself differently. When he comes to ordering servants around and ignoring Gloria, he's still Grandfather's double, but he has grown up now and far less haughty to you. It is a dark winter evening. A damp, cold wind sweeps through the city of the barren lands of Magurta. You and Stephen are now sitting in the library. He's telling you about Eternia and the capitals of the Empire. It is a place so full of wonders. The Imperial Palace, the enormous Temple of Twins, the Military Academy, the Imperial College. You've read so much about these places, and he has seen them firsthand. Nathan enters the library. He looks concerned. I can't find Gloria. I looked everywhere. She's not in the attic, not in the sitting room, and not in the kitchen. I heard she wanted to sneak off to the ruins of Charmeleon's palace. She could be lost in there. You and Stephen exchange looks. Charmeleon, the rebellious duke. The ruins of his palace are a dangerous place. Some children claim his tainted magic still lingers there. Which means you absolutely have to make your way there and prove again and back again to prove you are not afraid of a long dead witch. Your brother tells you to wait. He leaves you and soon returns to his sword of the sheath. Get ready, Penny. We're going to rescue Gloria. She must have gone to the ruins in search of inspiration for another one of her little rhymes. The two of you instruct Nathan to tell your parents you've gone for a walk in the square. You and your elder brother head outside. Yeah, rip Brian, he's dead. You are confused by Stephen's actions. He refused to treat Gloria like a human being, so why is he so determined to rescue her? Stephen notices your expression. Are you wondering why I care about Gloria all of a sudden? I can't act in any other way, can I? The law of honor compels me to protect my family. Gloria will never be a Bratti, but Father still took her into our house. I must respect his seniority and defend Gloria like she's one of our own. You are a Bratti too, noble or not, which means it is your duty to aid me. The ruins of Charmeleon's palace span the entire district. The palace was abandoned centuries ago, and the remnants are overgrown with thick underbrush. The ruined palace is empty, nothing but cold wind blowing over the crumbling brickwork. Even the worst scum of the land steer clear of this place. You make your way through the ruins until you spot scattered sheets of paper covered in writing. It's your sister's writing. You hear loud laughter coming from behind the dilapidated stone wall nearby. You pull yourself over to peer over it. Gloria is laying face down, twitching and sobbing. A gaggle of drunk young thugs surround her, crackling and swinging their arms about. You hear their shouts. Look at the lass, sitting there, rhymes wording together. She thinks she's all noble. But don't worry, you lowborn tart. We're gonna teach you your place. One of the lads spits at Gloria as she lies there. Right, Gloria? Come on. Get away from her this instant, you bastards, or I'll spill your guts. They respond with a mocking laughter. Stephen draws his sword. The street thugs recoil in fear, but they soon notice that he's the only one-armed man against many. They start reaching out for sticks and stones. Stand by my side. Don't let them flank me. Stephen's hand shakes, but he looks ready for battle. He's outnumbered for a moment, but you hesitate. Perhaps there might be a better way for the nearby districts and call for guards. The young thugs are already armed with makeshift weapons. They start approaching you and Stephen cautiously. I think we'll follow his orders. Just like straight up. Call for guards? I don't think so. Charge the attackers? It makes him happy, but I mean, we could just follow his orders. And this would be good. We get our nobility up. And we also make Stephen like us. I think that's great. That just seems like a great thing to do. Stephen's firm voice fills you with confidence. You follow your noble brother's orders. It takes a moment to grab a stick, and then you are by Stephen's back, angrily swinging at the lads as they try to bring him down. One of the lads lunges at your brother with a stone, but you hit him with a stick and he falls down at Stephen's feet. His sword flashes. The blade sinks deep into the young man's stomach. He wheezes. Blood starts pouring out into the ground. The thugs freeze. Stephen pulls the sword out, and his face is an indestructible mask, and returns to his fighting stance. You are stunned to see Stephen take another man's life so easily and effortlessly, like picking his own teeth. The thugs look like they are about to flee. There's a rage and confusion on their faces. They never expected the young nobleman to use that sword. Stephen just scoffs at them. Lowborn scum. That's all you are. This is the only language you understand. Good job, brother. Gloria, get up. We're going home. He turns to glance at your sister, giving the ignorant thugs enough time to rush you. You got separated from Stephen. Your back is against the wall now. They hit you hard in the stomach and the face, and then the side of your head. Your mind slips away. When the darkness disperses, you find yourself lying in your bed. Stephen is in the armchair reading a book. He's alive, with a left arm in a sling and a black eye, but still alive. Your head is spinning, and you feel nauseous. You try your best to sit up. Stephen looks up from his book. Don't try to get up. You lost a lot of blood. I suppose that was a few thugs too many for a single warrior, even with good backup. I'm impressed. You fought like an army. The noble's orders, the common obeys. All according to our lots. We defended the family's honor together. And now, brother, the nobleman's lot is also a great burden that few are able to bear. It takes courage, not to fight everything you see, but to do your duty. Each and every decision a nobleman makes must be a part of his family's legacy, flowing in the blood tide forever. I think about it often. A noble mustn't act weak. A noble mustn't suffer like people of the low-born lot. A noble must rise over them, rule over them wisely. A noble must ensure that they have work to do. It's not merely your own lot you have to look after. You have to ensure that thousands others can live by their lot as well. There are so many more matters to take care of. Honor, dignity, tradition. It's tough. It's what it takes to be a nobleman. Do you understand what I'm talking about? There is approval in your brother's eyes, for the first time in a long while. It was a pleasure to fight side by side, brother. Sympathy! And I'm noble now! This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Forbidden love. Another day of school is behind you. You are now wandering your district, taking your time before going home. It's getting dark. Soon you are walking past the splendid mansion of Count L. Velasco, one of the Magra's richest landlords. You hear a familiar voice from the other side of the iron fence. It is Stephen's voice. He is followed by the sound of a young lady laughing. You peek through the fence into the mansion's garden, and indeed, there you see your elder brother, dressed like he is going to meet the emperor himself. He is currently busy helping a pretty young lady out of the window. She locks into an ambrosial embrace. You recognize her, Maria L. Velasco, Count L. Velasco's daughter. As the whole city knows, she is already betrothed to another young nobleman from a far more illustrious family. Oh, Maria, I thought I would help you come down to earth from your heavenly abode, but your very touch brings me to the heavens. He picks the Count's daughter up and holds her in the air. She laughs almost impeccably and kisses him on the cheek. And Stephen takes her by the chin and turns her face to kiss him. Their lips join in a kiss. A flurry of emotion washes over you as you watch it happen. Stephen is putting the reputation of his entire family at risk. Acting so frivolously with the Count's daughter may turn the Count's influence against the Brontes, and yet Stephen always speaks so highly of noble bearing and composure and family honor. Stephen's face is glowing with joy. Your older brother, he is happy. Truly happy. You've never seen Stephen like this. As his arms hold the Count's daughter in the tender embrace so gently, as though he fears to hurt her, and Maria reciprocates his feelings. Must he really rob them of their secret joy? If you ever speak to him about this, no one must hear it. You wait by the gate impatiently until Stephen decides to return from his escapades. He is startled when he finally notices you standing by the gate. I think I'll remind him of what a nobleman's honor means. He was just talking to me about that. You fold your arms as you face your elder brother. He's confused to see you here. You speak to him openly. You know of his affair with Maria Elvesco, and Stephen should forget the young lady as soon as humanly possible. He freezes at these words. You keep talking. A nobleman cannot behave like this. Stephen is risking bringing shame on all the Brontes, and worst yet, he is defying his own lot and his own words. His honor, Maria's honor, and the family's honor. It will all be harmed by his recklessness. How could Stephen have forgotten about this? How could he have let his emotions rule him? Why should he be there to remind the noble born of this? You were born a commoner. Stephen frowns, but lets you keep talking. You wait for his anger, but there is none. When you are finally done speaking, your brother stays quiet for a long moment, and then he sighs heavily. Yes, indeed, you're right. I lost control of myself. Maria, I'm a madman in her presence. I forget the world when I'm with her. I forgot my duty to my lot and my family. I will part ways with Lady Elvesco, and offer my apologies to her father. My brother, thank you. You reminded me of who I am. From that day on, Stephen stops going out at night. His attitude towards you has changed too. He looks at you with respect, as if he has finally come to see you as an equal. Even in his anger, he is not quick to recall your brave decision to stop himself. Cool. Long before the entire city hears about a gang of low-born thugs assaulted Stephen Bronte, grandfather ensures that the brash young men are found. Some of them already are taken into custody as soon as the lesser death releases them. Grandfather seeks vengeance on those who hurt his favorite grandson. Prefect Elborn, a friend of your family, Prefect Elborn, promises to personally oversee the trial and ensure that justice is served. Stephen and grandfather decide to stay in Anizote until the trial ends. Grandfather demands true death for every single assailant. You ask father to explain something. How can a legal court sentence criminals to true death? How can a worldly judgment overrule a twin's law? Your words are true, son. Their law is second to none. Yet, the twin god also made the empire in all its ways. The count of law exists to execute the laws of heaven here in the world. Should the court of law sentence a person to death, the law high above will always enforce it, and so every execution brings true death. The commoners who assaulted Stephen, a born nobleman, have committed a grave offense, and there is no doubt about that. And yet, according to the Emperor's decree, even commoners have the right to defend themselves when they are about to face true death. This means that all of us will have to appear in the trial and testify before the court. Evening comes. Gloria visits your room. She looks crestfallen, and her fingers keep reaching for her long hair. You put away your schoolbooks and ask what is bothering her. The trial is tomorrow. I thought I was going to appear there too, as an eyewitness after all. This whole mess started because of me. But Sir Robert isn't even going to mention I was there. Can you imagine? He says it would ruin the case. Trial. So what's happening right now is we are going to trial because those commoners attacked my brother, who is a noble. We're going to act like Gloria wasn't even there, so it doesn't hurt the case. Why am I always in the way? Nobody ever mentions me. Nobody has ever listened to me. It's like I don't even exist. And I thought Steven standing up for me finally meant something. Maybe I will become a part of the family. But no, it's back to usual now. Gloria tries her best to hold back tears. You do your best to comfort her. Father just needs to keep the family out of trouble. If Sir Robert believes that I only bring trouble, why did he took me into the house at all? Take, probably. Gloria runs away and you return to your books, but you can't help but get lost in thought. What if they told the court you weren't there either? How would you feel then? There's a knock at the door. It is Father. He closes the door behind him and sits next to you. There's an exhausted look to him. Son, you'll be testifying before the court tomorrow. Please remember what I'm about to tell you. Gloria wasn't at the ruins at all. You went there with your brother to inspect the historic site. The lowborn men insulted Steven first and then attacked him. Steven had managed to deal with the assailants on the ground on his own by the time the guards were intervened. Gloria will cast suspicion on the case. If we mention her very existence to the court, the reputation of the family will suffer. Your grandfather will never forgive me if that happens. Do not let me down. We are all counting on you. You recall the night of the fight like it was a moment ago. Gloria sprawled under the feet of those crackling thugs. Her poetry, her greatest treasure, scattered on the ground. She thinks she's all noble. Those were the words they spat down on her. But doesn't grandfather mean the same thing when he denies that she's part of the family? If you do what father tells you, the trial will end quickly. The commoners will face a true death for assaulting a noble. But if you mention Gloria, things will get complicated, and you cannot predict how the trial will end. Which is more important to you, what is right or what is just? This seems pretty good. That's bad. We ought to convince father to change his mind, but our reputation is going to suffer for it. Oh, gotcha, Bean. Well, Gregor's gonna hate me more, but I'm gonna go for it, I think. Father, look straight in the eye and tell them what you think. You are not going to bear false witness in court. He is a judge himself. How can he make you lie to Sir Elborn? What of Gloria? Is she not a Bronte too? Does she not deserve justice? Or maybe grandfather is right, and she is a freeloader who deserves nothing but shame. If so, how can father agree to take her into the house under his protection? Saying this to your father is tough. Deep inside, you pray he hears no weakness in your voice and sees no blood rush into your cheeks. But he is listening to you intently. The wrinkles on his forehead grow deeper as his fingers stammer out in the staccato against the armrest. This is going to be tough, son, but you are right. You are right. I took Gloria into my home, and so I must protect her, like my own daughter. This was my decision, and I must stand by it. I will speak with Steven in the morning. Now, I pray your grandfather never hears of my change of heart. The day comes, and trial takes place in the lesser hall of the city prefecture. Sir Elborn himself proceeds as judge. You are first to testify in court. You tell the court about that night, how the thugs humiliated Gloria, how Steven and you came to help her, and how Steven defended his half-sister. Out of the corner of your eye, you watch grandfather's face grow red, yet you remain silent. There are confused whispers in the hall. The commoners on trial cry out that it's the truth. Gloria was writing poetry, and they simply told her she was defying her lot. The situation has changed. By this account, Steven was not acting in defense of himself or another. He merely assaulted them first in order to retaliate against those who had insulted his half-sister. You spread your feet and stand firm and inhale before you speak next. You ask the hall, is it not a nobleman's duty to honor his family name? Gloria does not have to have the Bronson name, but the father took her into the home. Therefore, it was Steven's duty to protect her, as it would have protected you. Contemptuous chuckles rushed through your courtroom. You must have just reminded them your city of your father's shameful second marriage. Steven is up to testify next. He reluctantly confirms your testimony, glancing at father and grandfather all the while. His arm is in a sling and is his main argument. Steven wanted to stop the commoners stop insulting Gloria, yet in the end the commoners were the first to insult him. After a short recess, Sir Elborn returns and rises to deliver his sentence. The court of Endazot finds you guilty of assaulting Steven L. Bronte, the nobleman who stood in defense of the honor, Gloria, the member of his household. All four descendants are sentenced to true death by hanging. There is no wind, but you feel a gust sweep through the hall. The defendants turn pale. Their mothers are bawling and crying. Everyone in the court feels the dreadful power of the law. It is stern and just. That power has been invoked by the sentence, and that very sentence is the lives of 4 young men are literally forfeit for all eternity. The gallows await. Stephen stands in the front row. Father stands next to them. The wood creaks, and the trapdoor is open under the men's feet. They dangle in the air, wheezing and reaching out for support of their feet in their final moments. Grandfather's silence ends at home. He screams at you and Father, at Stephen, and at Gloria. This trial is a disgrace. His screams are punctuated by the thudding of whacking stick against the floor. Father says they have to defend their family. It would have been truly a disgrace if they were stripped of their responsibilities. Stephen excuses himself to bandage his arm in order to stay out of the argument. Gloria is quiet, but glowing. You stay quiet too. It is all over now. Stephen leaves soon after the trial, alone. Grandfather does not go with him. For the first time in a long time, he lingers in the house for more than a fortnight. Father says Sir Gregor is ill and needs rest. Several months go by, and it becomes clear Grandfather will not recover. The eldest Bronte is almost bedridden now. On some days, he has trouble recognizing people. When he means to address you or Nathan, he calls you Robert, your father's name. But when he does not get out of bed, the house grows empty. The servants hide. Mother locks herself in the chambers, and you and Nathan run outside or hide yourselves in your room. If Grandfather sees anyone in the hallway, he begins lamenting. Oh, nobody heeds the lots any longer. Any harlot with a child can marry a nobleman these days. The children have no respect. His son betrayed him and let him down. Oh, how the Bronte family had lost its honor. Again and again you hear Grandfather knocking at Mother's door, screaming that she is all her fault. He blames her for ruining his chances to find bliss in the hereafter. He blames her for dooming him to suffer at the foot of the pillar. You overhear your parents talking one night. Mother begs Father to move Sir Gregor to his old home and spare the children his decline. Father refuses her outright. It is late at night. The hot, dry winds are coming. The house is empty to save you. Nathan, Gloria, Mother, and Grandfather in his bed. Father has left for the capital on business. You were engrossed in the history of the Empire, snapping you out of the reverie only when the clock strikes midnight. You blow out a candle and get ready for bed. You hear the shuffling of heavy feet outside your door. You see lights in the hallway. Grandfather? What could he want at the middle of the night? You peek into the hallway once he has passed. Grandfather's figure sways as he heads to the door of your mother's chamber. He opens the door and walks in. You hear him saying something quietly. Your unease is stronger as you fear now. You sneak closer to his words. You foul commoner. I have to cleanse my sins. I have to save my soul. You are my greatest sin. You and what you have done to Robert and this family. I should have put a stop to this marriage. I should have stopped Robert from tainting this house by your presence. Oh, why? Why didn't I do it? Please, Sir Bronte, I beg of you. Silence. You will do my bidding. Fire will cleanse this low-born filth from this place. Fire, fire, and flame will free Robert from this disgrace. For this is my son's sake. For my son's sake. For my sake. I need to eradicate this low-born filth. The twins. They are calling for me now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I beg of you, please have mercy. Mother begins to cry. You run into the room and you are unable to stay this any longer. Grandfather's gaunt figure looms over Mother's bed, a lit oil lamp in his hand. Mother is sprawled out on the bed, crying. Please, just let me warn the children. I beg of you, Sir Bronte. Your steps are loud enough to be heard. Grandfather turns to look at you. Stay out of this, Penny. Be useful for once. Worldly matters concern me not. I see only my sins now. And a sinner I am. A sinner. The twins, they forgive no one. They will judgment the pillar. I must do something. I don't want to suffer for all eternity. Go away. Mother is crying. Grandfather is looming over the bed, driven to madness. His hand shakes as it clutches the oil lamp. His eyes shine in the dark. He truly believes what things has been done. You are suddenly torn. What if he's right? What if this is the only for his soul to find salvation? There's no going back, but you have a moment to act. I could rescue my siblings. I could stop him. I could let it all happen as Grandfather wishes. I think I'll stop him. Yeah, I think I'll just stop him here. It sucks to use willpower again. You look at Grandfather defiantly and step towards him. He stares you down with rage and throws the oil lamp at the floor. You manage to catch it, but just barely. Several drops of hot oil hit the rug. Not nearly enough to start a fire. The lamp's gas is blistering hot. It turns in your hands, but you hold on to it safely. You low-born scum! You ruined everything! You're every bit like your mother. You! Enraged, he takes a swing, and you squeeze your eyes shut, but he does not hit you. Instead, there is a deep exhalation. You peek at him, and once with one eye, just in time to see him collapse. All his strength fading away. His chest is heaving, his face a grimace of contempt. Another heavy exhalation. The contempt is gone. There's only fear now. Grandfather's eyes are open wide. In surprise, he exhales. His eyes grow dim. Mother is there, whispering a prayer. She's shaking violently. You put the oil lamp gently on the bedside table and call for the servants. They carry the body away. It does not disappear. True death has found him. He will never return. You spend the rest of the night with your mother in the sitting room. She will not let go of your hand. For many, many nights afterwards, she keeps seeing Grandfather's shadow out of the corner of her eye. Father has returned from Eternia the morning after. He is unusually composed as he arranges for the funeral. The house becomes quiet. Not the looming, heavy sort of quiet that you past few months, but a calm relief that all you can feel now is that the crazed old man is no more. At last, Gregor Bronte, the family's patriarch, has departed for the hereafter. Gregor hates me. And he's dead now. Dignified, but we are slow and exhausted. I need more willpower. Grandfather's demise. Your grandfather, Sir Gregor Bronte, left this world forever to meet the twins. The night of Grandfather's death shook your family to the core. No matter how it happened, your grandfather, Gregor Bronte, is dead and will never return. He was a fearful looming shadow looming over the rest of the family, the Bronte patriarch, exerting his influence on all the lives below him, and all of you will remember him forever. Father is the new patriarch of the family now, and he cannot bring himself to sit at the head of the table where Sir Gregor used to preside. Stephen locks himself away at Grandfather's bedroom every day. He will not talk to anyone. Gloria and Nathan still jump at every sound, so much as resembling the knock of his walking stick. Mother spends all day in prayer at the temple. And yet the house has become calm and quiet with his passing. There is one thing that must be done, a final farewell. It weighs heavily upon your soul. The day comes to pay your final respects. Father goes to the tomb alone, save for Stephen, Nathan, and you. Mother and Gloria stay at home. Only nobles and those who become nobles may join this ritual. There's a solemn silence as you walk in the crypt. Father is the one who breaks the silence when you finally reach the door of the crypt. Your grandfather built this crypt, and now he'll be the first Bronte to remain here in body forever, the first ever noble in our family. It is now our duty to hold the sacrament of flowing blood for Sir Gregor. We will honor his legacy and join him as the founder of the noble Bronte dynasty. Stephen perks up at the father's words. His hands still clutch grandfather's sword. Tradition decrees that it must remain in the niche above the owner's sarcophagus. Nathan, on the other hand, looks even more frightened now. Stairs carved in white stone lead you downward, deep in the gloom of the crypt. Atop a pedestal, you see the sarcophagus that holds grandfather's body. Father takes a moment to decompose himself before paying his final respects. Gregor Bronte, my father, brought our family into nobility through his unshakable will. He was a judge and a loyal servant to the empire. He lived his life as if he had been born a noble and never strayed from the path he had chosen. He sought to make the Bronte family a noble by the sword so that our children's children might be of a noble birth. The twins know I abide on my father's word all my life, even if I cannot obey him every time. Father lets a bitter chuckle out as he says this. Stephen glares at Father and turns to glare at Nathan and you. After all, the two of you were born in a father's shameful decision to marry a commoner. All of you remember this disastrous passing. He did not die a true death he deserved, yet we must know that he fought for the future he believed in, to the very end, and he will be proud to see his family bid him farewell in the sacrament of nobility. Stephen still glares at Father sullenly. His fingers remained clutched around Grandfather's sword. Nathan barely pays attention to the words. He looks around with unease, his arms folded across his chest. Father reaches into his jacket and pulls out a slender dagger, sharp and thin. He takes off his gloves. Watch me carefully, my sons. Make a small cut on the palm of your hand and let the blood flow into this duct on the wall of the crypt. It will join Grandfather's blood here and flow forever. Then ancestor and progeny will become as one. We shall enter our family's blood tide and receive Grandfather's final blessing. For his blood flows first in our blood tide, he will respond to you. You are a part of him and he is a part of you. With a quick motion, Father slices his hand and opens the bleeding cut above the small opening in the wall. Then he hands the dagger to Stephen. Stephen cuts his hand without hesitation, just as Father's does. You receive the dagger next. The dagger's handle feels warm. You hesitate for a moment as you look at the palm of your hand. If you participate in this ritual, you will enter the Bronte blood tide. You, a low-born child, a child who is still a commoner. As you're ready, you calm your legacy as you as a descendant of the nobleman Gregor Bronte. The eyes of your father and brothers are upon you. Nathan, your younger brother, will follow your example. You can be certain of this. Yeah, I probably want to ask for his blessing first. You grasp the dagger firmly, and then quickly drag the blade across your palm. The fresh wound burns on your hand, yet you allow the blood to join the blood of your father and elder brother. Before you ask your late grandfather aloud, will he give you his blessing to become a part of him? Will he allow you to join the Bronte blood tide? You hear Stephen's indignant sigh. He does not say a word, however. Your words are a token of respect to grandfather and his will. Should you obtain his blessing, Stephen should not defy the late Bronte patriarch. Then, suddenly you all freeze. Each of you hears your late grandfather speak to you. His voice is loud and it rings in the depths of the crypt, and yet it speaks to each of you separately. You had the courage to ask me for my blessing. Well, so be it. You deserve an answer. To me, you are not incorrigible. You are a low half-born, and yet you may make a worthy nobleman one day. I shall allow you to join my blood tide. But know this, I will be watching you always, and my shadow will follow you forever. Do not let me down, boy. Grandfather's voice falls silent. You glance at your father and brothers astonished, save for Stephen. Everyone else is dumbfounded as well. You have the grandfather's blessing. You hold your hand above the opening in the wall. Your blood drips into the duct and flows further into the crypt as it combines with the blood of your father and brother. Nathan's turn comes. Your younger brother hesitates. Father offers some help, but Nathan shakes his head. Finally, he makes a cut, and Nathan's blood mixes with yours in the duct of the crypt. The ritual is complete. Stephen reverently kisses the grip of grandfather's sword and places it on the alcove above the sarcophagus. Once it is done, you leave the crypt together. A cool, fresh wind blows in your face as you return to the surface. Father stops halfway to the carriage and hugs Nathan and you briefly. You now belong to the dynasty of Sir Gregor as well. I joined the blood tide. The fugitive girl. Grandfather passing and the last respects have left a mark on the entire family. His words relayed from the hereafter keep echoing in your mind. You still have to do your best to avoid the memory of grandfather's last night and spend more time on the city streets with Thomas and your other classmates. The road by the house reminds you of another crash with death. Sometimes as you walk along that road, you recall Sophia, the beautiful girl with wonderful eyes and the terrifying thundering hooves. You have not seen Sophia since that fateful day. The children who live nearby say her family parents sent to a rich Arkanen family, the Audens, as a servant. The sun sets, the color shines palely in the dark sky. Thomas is ill, so you decide to visit him and tell him the latest news. The streets seem oddly agitated tonight, full of horses, cloaked men, strange faces, and hushed voices. The young nobleman in the heavy embroidered cloak is walking back and forth, clutching his sword nervously. There's a grimace of rage on his delicate blue face. He is an Arcanine. Sir Auden, the girl is not home. We searched the house. Her parents swear she ran away from the home too. They claim they wanted to bring her back. Just do whatever it takes. Turn this loathsome district upside down if you must. But bring my servant back to me. She's here. Sophia ran away from Arcanine? How can this be? There's only one person on the entire street where this person could hide. The abandoned Moral House, 4 houses away from you. You head there, do your best not to attract attention. The lopsided house, built of yellow brick, has been abandoned for 20 years or so. You remember playing there as a boy. You glimpse a figure inside even before you enter. A pair of eyes glimmer in the dark. You would recognize it even after another 4 years. Sophia has grown up, but is almost certainly an adult now. Her face is full of fear. She is not an easygoing girl next door that you remember. She finally recognizes you. Oh, it's you, Penny. Be quiet. They're all looking for me. I ran away from the youngest Auden. I might be for a lesser death here, but I'd rather die than spend another day in their slavery. I'm just a thing to him, just a toy to play with. Sophia winces and closes her mouth as she says this. There's a glint of bright yellow in her eyes. I ran to my parents. I told them about the men that I had to serve, and they went to alerted the Audens. They don't want to be the target of their ire. But you aren't going to tip them off, are you? Barking and shouting is getting closer. Sophia's voice grows quiet. She runs off to the darkest corner of the house before you can answer. One of the Auden servants is so close you can hear his cloak slishing up against the ground. He notices something and calls for the others. There is more voices around you now. They approach the house from the yard and surround it. One of them seems particularly snappy, annoyed, and impatient. You've already heard this voice today. If you're in there, girl, you'd had best come out and quit wasting my time. All will be forgiven and you will go back to where you were. You know it. If you don't, I'll have to drag you out by the hair. The hilt of the young Arcanine sword bashes at the door. He's about to lose his patience for good. Sophia hugs the wall in the dark, trying to stay still as she glances at you. What will you do? Your heart is racing. You act against the Arcanine's orders. You have to Gaul defy the mighty nobleman. Yeah, Sophia died her first death, so I can't do this. Sophia would be merciless. But I don't have ingenuity. I could hide alone. Embittered. Let's bring her back. You pull yourself away and walk slowly on the half-collapsed doorway. Sophia stays behind. The tall Arcanine stares you down, his condescending smile dripping with scorn. Your hand raises to point at Sophia's hiding place. Auden nods, satisfied, and he steps inside, his finger on the hilt of his sword. You follow him in tow. The silhouette runs from you. Sophia? You hear a high-pitched scream of rage. A golden light blinds you, a flash so bright it rends you from the inside. There's another voice in your head now, booming, screaming, "Halt! Freeze! Drop!" You lose control of your body, your arms and legs. You collapse at the Arcanine's feet. Sophia uses the moment of confusion to run past the nobleman and out through the door. Auden steps over you, crushing and runs after her. You hear noises from the other side of the wall, running, screaming, and orders to give chase. You lie there in a pile of old bricks, completely unable to move. Slowly, the stupor leaves you. Finally, your knees can bend again. You get on your feet, walking and staying out of the abandoned house. The Arcanine is standing in the doorway, head shaking in frustration. So, she's a witch, is she? Well, I'll be fascinating. What a fascinating lass. I knew I chose her for a reason. Ah, there you are, youngster. So how did you like your first brush of magic? Tell me your name, and worry not. You have my thanks. You tremble as you introduce yourself to Doris Auden. You will go far, young Bronte. You know your loyalties. You walk back home, lost in thought. Sophia's a witch? You recall how you felt, how her magic bound you by the arms and legs, and how it took away all control over your body, how it made you lose the will to move. But that spell, you could sense something personal in a way it struck you. Was it hatred? The runaway girl becomes the talk of the district for the entire week. You overhear that Sophia managed to flee the city. The Audens are furious. After the sudden appearance, she will disappear from your life once more. You will not see her until much, much later. Where do we go put there? All right. Adolescence is nearly done. I might actually just power through and finish Adolescence. I was gonna stop right here, but I might just finish Adolescence. Let me run and get some water. All right, we're back. You are about to turn 15, just one step away from adulthood. Mother is acting anxious at dinner today, barely touching her food. You exchange glances with Gloria. She carefully tells you what she wants to go to the tailor. Mother shudders, her hands clench into fists. No, don't you dare leave home today. I forbid it. That dirty heretic Fadus is preaching his lies into the silver tree today. Twins willing, I don't want you to hear any of that. You and Gloria glance at each other again. Fadus. He's a patriarch, the head of the clergy throughout the entire province. That is the first you've heard of Mother speak about this like a priest, especially such a high-ranking one. Once you leave the dinner table, Gloria comes to your room with a cutting expression on her face, like she's about to play a trick on someone. She has a plan. The two of you should sneak out of the house and go to the silver tree. You simply must hear what the sermon for yourself. What's so bad about the patriarch Fadus? Why does Mother hate him so much? You two are grown up now. Surely you have the right to know. You agree with your sister. Together you sneak out from under your mother's watchful eye to hurry to the silver tree. The temple block is full of people from ranks of estates. There's barely enough room for the Chibi to squeeze through the crowd. The crowd has gathered around the very roots of the tree. Gloria suggests that you climb up to the roof of the nearby building so you can hear and see everything better. And not a moment too soon. From the roof, you see a tall, silver-haired priest step onto the platform by the tree, dressed in the common black robe that looks far beneath his rank. Yet he stands like a noble before the crowd. Behind his back is a banner flapping in the wind. The open book. This is the symbol of new faith, the crowd whispers. The patriarch opens his hands to the sky. The entire temple block grows quiet. He begins his sermon, his vibrant voice rolling across the square. Vadas speaks of a great mistake. We entrusted ourselves to the lots as the only way to fulfill divine providence in the world. But all these years, the will of the twins have been interpreted for us by the single man, Prophet Isitus. The twins are ever watching from atop the shining pillar. Of this we have no doubt. But how can we so blindly believe that we truly follow their will by following the lots? We have not seen the 3 lots of Istis fall again and again to answer the question that we ought to live our lives. Have we not seen people change their lots in life again and again without ever being smitten by divine wrath? Every person born, whether human or Arcanan, lowborn or noble, must find their lot in their way to the gods on their own. From now on, we seek the gods in account of their lives, in their acts of this world, and in their own words they echo within us. And as we heed the voice of the twins within, we will find their path for us on our own. The crowd of the Silver Tree listens to the patriarch's speech in stunned silence. You glance at your sister. Her eyes glisten with tears as she hears Vadas' words. Then suddenly a hoarse cry rises from the crowd. If there are no lots, does that mean the nobles are going to till the fields and the commoners are going to bear arms? The crowd begins to murmur. The patriarch raises his arm and inhales, ready to answer. An armed figure leaps from the crowd onto the platform. A dirty beggar dressed in rags, a knife flashed in his hand. The blade slices. Blood splurts from Vadas' throat. He slumps over and collapses. A dark brown puddle spreads across the platform where he had stood. Gloria clutches her mouth to suppress a shriek. A few moments later, in stunned silence, and the screams begin. The people are frantic. The temple guards try to restore order in the crowd, but to no avail. An old woman dressed in the Inquisitor cassock tries in vain to apply pressure to the patriarch's wounds. The nobles draw their sword. Dogs are barking. The crowd is pushing and shoving. Children are crying. The entire square by the tree is in chaos. From the roof, you see where people start trampling each other, howling, praying, shouting. Gloria tugs on your sleeve. Time to go. You climb down from the roof and run. You return home without exchanging a word. Mother has been in her room all the while, so no one noticed your absence. Gloria locks herself in the room. You do not discuss the things you have just seen. They are too frightening. But your parents discuss every detail of the blood-stained sermon over dinner. This is unbelievable. A patriarch murdered in plain sight. The Grand Arms and the Archduke guards have been searching every corner of the slums, and the murderous beggar has disappeared without a trace. I can't even imagine a more gruesome crime. Vadas has died a true death, never to return from the hereafter. But how? Why can't the patriarch be reborn? He's so close to the twins. Such is the way of the world, my children. Once you are granted great power by the twins, there's no hope for you to come back, not even by the first of your deaths. Emperors, their powerful vassals, the heads of great arcane destinies, patriarchs of the church, none of them are destined to be reborn. Vadas is gone forever. I fear for his soul. It was lost in doubt. Will the twins accept him upon the peak of the pillar? We must pay for the patriarch, children. Let us help humanity to return to the true old faith before the moment of his passing. There's little hope for that. Tomorrow you turn 16. According to Imperial law, you'll be a full adult. Your time at Sir Tivor's school has ended. You have studied to apply the Imperial College and learn the judge's trade there. You are to travel to Eternia tomorrow. Your friend Thomas will go there with you to try his luck in the Imperial capital. Mother and father prepare you for the long journey. Remember, son, there's only one goal for you. You must become a student at the Imperial College. Your teachers dragged you through all those books for a reason. You have the knowledge and fervor to be ennobled by the mantle, as I was, and as my late father was before me. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll be one to write the name Bronte in the Blue Book to ensure that your children's name will be ennobled by birth. The mother speaks to you carefully. There's worry in her eyes. But Robert, there may be another path for our son. Stephen, your firstborn, was born a noble. He would surely earn the title for the entire Bronte family. Your second son bears the favor of the twins. For him, the path of a priest is a worthy calling, no less than a nobleman's sword. They've been arguing about your future for a while now. Still, she would never defy the will of the nobleman of a nobleman and her husband. He smiled at them both, trying to placate them. Gloria laughs quietly behind their backs. Just don't become a snoot like Stephen, and you'll do just fine. Mother chides Gloria for that. You wink at your sister. Nathan has been downcast all evening. He barely touched his dinner. When everything gets up from the table, he suddenly rushes over to embrace you. Please don't go, Penny. Can't you stay? I don't know what I'm going to do without you. He tousled his hair in response. There's no way you can stay now, you say. But when you come home, you will come home, you will tell him all the stories and bring him a special present from Eternia. This is it. All your lessons have been learned. All your things have been packed for the road, and you will leave your family tomorrow. Tonight is the last night at home before your departure. You walk through the rooms one last time. The sitting room where Mother used to read you fairy tales, the library where Gloria used to spend all her time, Father's study, which you entered only on special occasions, the backyard where you taught Nathan to build towers one summer. The whole place feels so familiar, so dear to you, it feels like home. You lived here for 16 years. Will you ever return? It's getting late. Everyone is already in their rooms, but you hesitate. Father, Mother, Gloria, Nathan. It will be a long time before you see them again. Who will you spend your last few hours with? Nathan gives me willpower. Father gives me 2 nobility. I already have dignified, but I could actually become... I could become more, or I could get that willpower. Father would be 6. I don't think you can actually become 6. Yeah, 5 is the max. My brother would go up to... +1. Let's get that willpower up. Nathan is already in bed, snoring. You approach your brother quietly and pat him on the head. He is startled but starts smiling with joy when he realizes it's you. Hi, hey, can we go outside? I need your help with something. You creep silently downstairs. The air is damp outside. A drop of dew glistens in the night. Nathan drags you toward the brushes. A spotted kitty looks at you from the bushes with sad eyes. You see a bowl of water and some scraps next to it. Look, he ran into our yard today. See, he's got a broken paw. I need to save the poor kitten. You pat Nathan on the head. Together, you sneak the poor animal into the house and take him into the storage closet. Then you close the closet door and begin the treatment. If anyone is clumsy in your family, it is Nathan, and his hands are unusually accurate and calm as he binds the kitten's paw. You start chatting as you treat the cat. As you think out loud about living in the capital and working toward your goal, Nathan strokes the poor animal's wet fur. He sighs. It's tough for me, you know. I'm thinking about being a grown-up. I'm not much of anything even now. I wish I'd be more like you. You sure know where you're going and who you're going to be. You shrug. No, I mean it. I can't be like that. They say I'm going to study too and go to Eternia and become a priest or go to a college, but there's no way I can make it there. Does that mean there's nothing else out there for me? You'll be leaving soon and I'll be all alone. You'll write to me. I know you will. And you'll come back one day, but I'm scared. Scared I might lose my way when you're not around. You'll come back, but it'll be different. You'll be different, I'll be different too. You swear to Nathan that even if everything changes, you will always be his brother. You will always be there to offer him advice and support, and there will be no doubt that he will find his way in life. It just takes time to find yourself, sometimes more than you might expect. The sun is about to rise. You should rest before the long trip, but you are not tired at all. Nevertheless, it's time for bed. Before you leave, Nathan hugs you again. Please, promise, you'll come back, Penny. You swear to him that you will. You get into bed and fade away into a gentle, happy sleep. They will be waiting for you back here, no matter what. You leave your family home for a long time. Your future awaits you in Eternia, the capital of the Empire. Last night was your final night at home. The carriage is now waiting at the gate, ready to take you to the capital. The clip-clopping of the idle hooves against your cobblestone counts the seconds before your departure. You take one more look at your parents' house and recall your childhood spent there, at the nearby yards, at the school, and on your winding streets of Inazot. You clashed with the greater world around you and survived. You felt the tingle of emotion for the first time. You were taught by the school and the streets. You explored the city of your birth and learned something of its past, and you witnessed firsthand events that will be remembered by history for all time. All of this is yours forever now. You saw death, lesser death, followed by rebirth, and a true death that takes and never gives back. You saw death lying in wait to strike the unaware, like a beast stalking its prey. You saw grandfather's angry grimace lit by the fire flickering in the lamp, and the Archduke's cavalry tramping toward those who stood in their way, and your older brother's bloodied sword slicing through the air. Death has followed you from a very young age. And yet, you live on. You have a friend who's been by your side all these years. Thomas taught you many things. How to take a hit, how to keep your word, and how to remain true to your own self. And now Thomas is walking into the same carriage as you are with a heavy bag slung over his shoulder. Your friend will remain your companion for the time being. Ahead of you is a long trip toward the capital and adulthood. For the first time, you will be away from your family and home. What awaits you in the future? I'd love to play more, but I am sleepy. 2.5 hours is quite a long time to be reading out loud. Maybe I'll get better at it eventually. We met Thomas. We met that girl. The, what's her name? Octavia Melendez. We went to school. We learned of Stephen's secret love. Grandfather passed away and we joined his blood tide, forever putting our blood in the family name. And we departed from home. Alright, personal qualities that you have acquired in adolescence. I'm very dignified, I'm barely ingenuity or spiritual. We have 1 death and 5 willpower. I could continue. And I can quit the main menu. Oh, wow. What a game, huh? I'm really into the life and suffering of Sir Bronte, just like all the Russians are. I'm so excited to keep on playing this run. I myself am a sucker for family. I know that's very obvious while I play. I want to be this noble person, but I don't want to sacrifice my family at the same time. And so there's that difficulty there. But thank you so much for watching. It went on a long time. If anyone's still here, I appreciate it. But if you're not, maybe you'll watch the VOD. I will see you all on Wednesday. Bye-bye.